Patriots, 4 games in, the Pats are dominating 4-0. Next up for New England, Romeo Crennel and the surprising Cleveland Browns. We'll chat with the Browns boss about this matchup and much more. Plus, this is not the way San Diego linebacker Sean Merriman expected his Chargers to start the season. Merriman joins us in studio for NFL Total Access.
All right, how does everybody feel?
Edwards wide open, got it! 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
I feel pretty good.
Let's keep the going. Let's go.
I plan on being the guy, and this is my team.
With an explosive run. Touchdown! Sack number 6 for Oshie.
Congratulations, man. Thank you. I love you, boy.
Fran Charles alongside Terrell Davis, Pats and Bengals from a night ago. Carson Palmer over the middle with TJ Houshmandzadeh. The Bengals get it within 3 points, 10-7, but New England just has a lot of everything.
To Randy Moss on his back right shoulder, and he's going to go up and get it for you.
I mean, Brady just threw it up there. And the Patriots, they win this one 34-14, and they remain undefeated. Here's Moss's second touchdown catch of the night. He just lofts it up there. Moss with 4 100-yard performances, and the Patriots are off and running.
We got a lot of good players on this team. Pick a positional group. When somebody goes down, there's been somebody that's been able to come in and contribute. Offensive line, defensive backs. That's who we are, and we expect it from each other. I don't think we have an air of invincibility at all. Like you said, I think we acknowledge every time we come into an opposing arena or playing somebody at home that if we don't play well, we can be beat.
It doesn't look that way so far. The Patriots have outscored their opponents by 100 points this season. That's the second largest point differential through 4 games in the last 30 years. 3 of these teams reached the Super Bowl with the 91 Redskins and the 99 Rams, both going on to win that big matchup. All right, welcome inside our NFL Network studios. Fran Charles alongside Terrell Davis for NFL Total Access. Are the Patriots this good, TD?
Ooh, they might be. They might be. They're pretty good. You know, 4-0. They're definitely a team right now that you have to put your eye on and see that they have a team to beat right now. But I think when you look at this team, we talk about Randy Moss. We talk about the weapons they have with Tom Brady and Wes Welker. You talk about stalwarts. But you got to give some credit to the Hogs up front. The 5 guys up front doing a great job. And let's start that off with Matt Light. He is really doing a great job. They're giving Tom Brady all the time in the world. They've only given up 3 sacks on 123 pass attempts. So that means that when you got that kind of time as a quarterback, you will find the open receiver and make big plays. The top 5, those 5 guys up front, are doing a tremendous job right now.
And you mentioned how well the offensive lines played. They brought in a lot of high-powered skill players in the skill positions. And sometimes, even though it works on paper, it doesn't work on the field. Are you surprised that everything's clicking so well?
I'm not, because this team wasn't that far from being an excellent team anyway. Last year, they went out there and basically they gave away their Super Bowl run to the Indianapolis Colts. But really, they brought in, Randy Moss, who's a guy that when he came in, they didn't really have to tell Randy Moss to be a leader. They already had their leaders on this team. All he had to do was come in and fit in and be part of that system. And I'm not surprised that they were just this close last year. Now with the weapons they added to that team, they're going to be hard to beat.
All right, on the flip side, we're starting to see some things unravel here for the Bengals. Some frustration starting to bubble over late in the second quarter. Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson missed on a pass attempt down by the goal line. And we saw them yelling on the sidelines. The cameras caught them. Head coach Marvin Lewis, he was overheard through the locker room walls after the game, dressing the team down. He shared some of his thoughts at his news conference. In the Cincinnati Enquirer, quote, "I'm tired of fighting it," Lewis said. "You don't call the offense, you don't call the defense, you just play. All week long, people tell you how good you are, and we ain't. We won't play together. We need to figure it out. Nowhere in the National Football League do guys act like this. If you don't want to be on this team, please don't show up." And now Lewis called a mandatory team meeting on Tuesday, which is normally a day off for the Bengals following a Monday night game. Is it starting to unravel in Cincinnati? Is it too late for them to get things together?
No, it's not too late, but it is starting to unravel a little bit. Marvin Lewis is a defensive coach, and this is where I have the biggest problem. Their defense is struggling right now. They have a bunch of injuries on defense. They've started 6 different players at linebacker this season. They lost Lamar Marshall, last night with an Achilles injury. they're struggling at the linebacker position. Plus, their front four is not putting a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback. They've only had 4 sacks this season, which is not that great. I mean, they're not really putting a lot of pressure on people up there. And I think, they rank basically in the bottom of every major defensive category. Their defense really stinks right now. They've got to fix that before they can turn things around.
I mean, they almost lost the opener to Baltimore, so they could be looking at 0-4. They have a bye this week. We're going to take a look at their upcoming schedule. Where do you see them possibly getting a break?
Well, Kansas City is a much improved team right now. The Jets is probably a team I think they can beat. But after that, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Buffalo's a winnable game. The Ravens going to Baltimore may be another tough matchup. I don't know. I think that Cincinnati has to take it upon themselves not to rely on other teams to be as weak as they are, but go to wherever they're playing these teams and beat them soundly like New England. New England doesn't care who they play. They play New England football, and that's all that matters. And that's what Cincinnati has to have the same attitude.
Real quick, do the team meetings work? The coach being upset and that getting public, does that work to turn a team around?
Sometimes it does, Fran, but sometimes it doesn't. I mean, in Cincinnati's case, I think when teams are that close to being an exceptional ball club, then it works. But I think Cincinnati's got more than one problem right now to deal with.
All right, let's take you around the league and quickly get you up to speed on some of the key injuries. We start in Pittsburgh. Head coach Mike Tomlin says expect to see Steelers safety Troy Polamalu back on the field when Pitt plays host to Seattle this Sunday. Polamalu couldn't finish the Steelers' loss to Arizona in Week 4. He strained an abdominal muscle while recovering a fumble in the second quarter. Hines Ward's status, on the other hand, still up in the air. Ward suffered a sprained knee in Pittsburgh's win over the Niners in Week 3. He missed only the 4th game of his 10-year career this past Sunday, and the Steelers lost to the Cardinals. Tomlin says his rehab is going well. He'll start the work week listed day to day. In Carolina, Panthers middle linebacker Dan Morgan has a partially torn Achilles tendon, but the injury is not believed to be season-ending. Morgan missed the Panthers' loss to Tampa this past Sunday. He hopes to have the cast off his leg later this week. No immediate forecast on when he'll return to the playing field. In Washington, the Redskins are coming off a bye. They'll host the Lions Sunday. And at the start of the work week, running back Clinton Portis was in pads in practice. We'll get to that in a second. Tavares Jackson, he's expected to start for the Minnesota Vikings when they get back on the football field. Tavares coming off a groin injury. All right, now on to Portis. As we mentioned, the Redskins are coming off a bye. They'll host the Lions Sunday. Clinton Portis was not in pads at practice. Head coach Joe Gibbs says Portis' knee was agitated in the loss to the Giants. Remember, he missed the entire preseason with tendinitis in his right knee. In Arizona, Cardinals are coming off a big win over the Steelers, but not everyone in the Redbirds organization is thrilled. Second-year QB Matt Leinart is miffed. He's not getting all the snaps for Arizona, giving way to 10-year veteran Kurt Warner in spots over the last 2 weeks. And Warner's performed. Passer rating of 125 after the game. Now, Leinart told Yahoo Sports, if I'm the franchise quarterback, play me and let me stumble because I'll fight through it, and that'll help me and our team in the long run. I know coaches want to win now, and I guess they have their reasons, but I don't understand it, and this switching back and forth is almost worse than getting benched. And now Leinart has since backed off those comments a little bit, but still he is a little bit upset. What are your thoughts on the way Ken Wisenhunt has used Matt Leinart and Kurt Warner?
Well, Matt said, let me stumble through this process. The bottom line is that, Arizona wants to win now. You can't try to, go ahead and say, well, let me stumble right now and then in the future put me in and let me go ahead and be successful for this ball club. But I don't like the two-back quarterback system. I like the fact, pick a quarterback and let him play. If Kurt Warner is playing better than Matt Leinart, then let him play right now. Stop with the pulling quarterbacks in, pulling them out. I don't like that particularly because as a player, you got to know who your signal caller is when you go to that huddle. And I think sometimes it divides that locker room between guys who like Leinart or guys who like Kurt Warner. So I think you have to choose one guy or the other. Kurt Warner's playing better right now. Let him play right now. Matt Leinart's a young quarterback. He'll come back and bounce back. He's got plenty of years in his career, in his future. He can sit another year or two out and come back and play later. All
right, so plenty more to come on this 60-minute edition of NFL Total Access. We're going to check in with teams who we thought would do well in 2007, but haven't quite turned the corner. Devin Hester and the Chicago Bears are one of them, plus Hester, a member of the top 10 plays we have coming up, plus Eagles, Bears, Jets, and we mentioned all playoff teams from a year ago who have struggled so far in 07, as have the San Diego Chargers. They won 14 games a year ago, but things are not going well. Sean Merriman will join us in studio when we come back. And there he is. No longer lights out, TD, but he's on his way out to the set.
Take his time
Sean,
on his
great
Tuesday.
to see you. Hey, thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Plenty more NFL Total Access coming up.
Touchdown, LT.
Touchdown, Tomlinson!
Touchdown. He did it one more time.
Rivers throws. Caught, touchdown! You talk about a perfect throw. I mean perfect. We deserve this game. We worked too hard. Ain't nobody working for us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3,
Fires, intercepted, and the Patriots have it. A bitter defeat for the San Diego Chargers.
The stumbles continuing for the San Diego Chargers. They got up to a 16-6 lead, but Kansas City rallying. Damian Heward to Tony Gonzalez to tie the game at 16. And in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs up 23-16. Chargers trying to get things going. Phillip Rivers, though, is hit by Derek Johnson. He fumbles. Tyron Brackenridge is off the other way. And the Chiefs scored 24 unanswered points to beat the Chargers 30-16. And we are pleased to be joined in studio by Chargers linebacker Sean Merriman. And Sean, thanks for taking the time out.
Appreciate it.
Not the start, obviously, that you guys would like it at 1 and 3. What's been the problem?
You know, a bunch of things. You never really play as good as you think you play and as bad as you think you play as well. But whenever you go back and you see that film, the truth always comes out. And we need to do a lot better things as players. You know, we look to ourselves in the locker room and say, what do we need to do as players to be better? And it's a numerous bunch of things that we need to do better as players. And fundamentals, you know, tackling, catching, blocking, just the fundamental things of football that you've been doing since you were playing Pee Wee League that we're not doing right now.
How frustrating is it right now?
Very. It's very frustrating because if someone was to tell me before the season that the San Diego Chargers would be 1 and 3 starting out the season.
If they'd have told me that too, I would have said the same thing.
I probably would have laughed, and I would say it's not possible, and it's happened. So what had happened, and now we have to come back and figure out what we've been doing wrong as a team and regroup because the first quarter of the season is over. Now we get in the second quarter. Now we have to really step our game up and go back and get back to playing the way we're capable of playing. 14
wins a year ago, but now you have a new head coach. Norv Turner, Marty Schottenheimer is out. I mean, how much blame should the head coach take here?
You know, and I always said even before when Marty was there, the coaches don't play the game for us. You have to go out there and execute the plays as called, and that as players is what we have to do first and foremost. And then you got to go back and see what we're not doing now that we did last year. What we're not doing now that we're accustomed to doing. And you fix those. You know, you can't complain about what the coach is calling or what the coach is doing because the coach can't go out there and make tackles for you. The coach can't catch a ball or run a ball for you. You have to go out and execute that as players.
But are you starting to see a divide in the locker room of guys who are wishing that Marty were still there, or no?
No, not at all. I think a lot of that came up in the game. A lot of fans were yelling Marty at the end of the game, and I was shocked. But then, you know, I started thinking. I said, look, you know, those Charger tickets are over $100, and if I was playing $100 a ticket, you know, I would feel that I have a right to say what I wanted to too. And they do. They have their opinion, and they want to see us win. But the biggest critics are going to come within that locker room. So we're going to look to ourselves first and look at the things that we need to fix and get those corrected.
But Sean, you're watching your defense versus last year. You guys last year had a more attacking style defense. This year, that's not your style. What is Ted Cantrell doing differently than what Wade Wilson was doing there last year?
I don't think nothing really too much. I think it's you know, something that we've been doing since the preseason.
Phillips, I'm sorry.
Phillips, yeah. I think it's some things that we need to do better as an attacking, and you know, slant passes can't go for 50 yards. You know, we can't have guys wrapped up in the backfield and let them go and fall for 5 or 6 yards at a time. We have to attack guys, get them on the ground, and finish every single play because that's the only way that we're going to get back to playing the way we're capable of playing.
How do you beat Denver this weekend?
You got to, first of all, be physical. Denver's offense and Denver's team been the same, since I got in the league, since you've been there.
I was there, yeah.
They're
gonna run the football.
They're gonna run the football. Every back is they're gonna start one direction and go another, and we know that. We know what they're gonna do and what they're capable of doing. And I don't know. I think they lost the last couple. They lost the last couple games or so, and so the division is not out of whack right now for us to win it or anybody else to win it. It's still up for grabs, and we have to go and take it if we want it.
We started to see LaDainian Tomlinson last weekend show us what he showed us all of last season. What's been the issue there, though?
Well, like I said, fundamentals. Guys have to block, guys have to catch, and guys have to throw, and that's what all starts for us. And a guy can't make plays if he's getting hit 2 and 3 yards in the backfield. A guy can't catch the ball if he don't have time to throw it. So it's a bunch of things that we need to get corrected as a team, offense, defense, special teams, because that's how you win.
Right, like you mentioned, you guys are 1-3, but it's a long season, and you guys are really just one game out from first place. I mean, how does that play to you guys right now? You guys realize that, and what are you doing to make sure that you guys don't fall any further back behind in that division?
Well, like I said, you have to go back and see what you're doing wrong. We have to self-evaluate first, look at what we're doing wrong, and what can we correct right now. And the things as players that you can always correct right now, you can go out there and be more physical, stay in the game for 60 minutes, don't play a team 30 minutes and expect to win, and don't walk on the field like we're the San Diego Chargers and we're automatically going to win that game. If we won a game, we got to go out there and take it. And as players, you have to put that in your mind to go out there and get it done.
Talk about swagger. I mean, is the swagger, it's because I think sometimes people don't realize how big that is.
It's very big. It's very big. And, a lot of people were making fun because I wasn't doing a lights out dance anymore.
There you go.
Brought it back, right?
I did. I brought it back, and it was something that wasn't really planned. I wasn't planning to do it, but all week, my teammates and people were saying, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And you have to first remember why you love this game, the reason why you play this game, and the reason why you should play this game like you're still in your backyard growing up and having fun, because football is fun. It's something I love to do, but it's also fun, and to keep that fun in the game and to keep the way that I know how to play and be emotional and passionate. If I'm gonna have to do lights out dance because I feel it, I'm gonna do it, You
don't have to break, do you? You got a little time you can hang out with us?
Yeah, I can hang out for a little bit.
All right, Deshaun Merriman will stay with us for the remainder of the show on NFL Total Access. When we come back, we mentioned the Chargers struggling. We will also look at some other playoff teams from a year ago who have not gotten off to the best of starts. It's coming up next on NFL Total Access. We're taking a look at the trends in the NFL season. And 5 of the 12 playoff teams from a year ago, they have a losing record through 4 games this season. 4 of the teams won their division a year ago. Bears and Chargers, they had the best record in each conference last year and have already matched or surpassed their loss total from 2006. So, Sean, we talked about Chargers. We'll talk about some other teams for a change to take the heat off you. Let's start with the New York Jets, who haven't been off to a great start at 1-3. What do you think the issue is there?
Well, I think a couple of things, and as being a player, you have to understand that when you go in, or a team, when you go into the season, that you have a target on you now. Whenever you have a successful season the year before, you're not creaming it up on anybody anymore. They know what you're going to do. They know what you're good at. If you got a running back like we have, or a tight end that the ball must go to, people kind of scheme against you, and that's what's been going on with these teams such as the Jets.
I look at the Jets, and I say that with Chad Pennington, they don't stretch the field very much. They have a very short dink and dunk passing game. Right now, they can't run the football. Got Thomas Jones over there from Chicago. It really hasn't panned out there. And defensively, they rank in the bottom of pretty much every defensive category. So they can't stop anybody.
Well, it's hard because, like you said, when they're throwing these quick passes and they're getting rid of the ball, I mean, they're trying to cover up for some things and not just adjust, not just any. It's all teams. Whenever they do things like that, they get rid of the ball
When
quick.
you got Laveranues Coles, I want you got to stretch the field.
You got to give them the ball and you got to make them spread that defense
vertical
around. Definitely.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
I think Donovan McNabb would like to have Laveranues Coles right about now.
Exactly.
Right now, the Eagles off to a 1-3 start as well, and Donovan McNabb was sacked 12 times in that loss against the New York Giants. Things are just not looking well. Brian Westbrook, of course, a huge weapon for them. Didn't play with an abdominal strain. In 2 of the 4 games so far, the Eagles didn't score touchdowns. All right, the Eagles put up 56 points against the Lions. They scored 8 touchdowns in 15 possessions in their 3 losses. However, they've scored just 1 touchdown in 34 possessions, and they've allowed a whopping 16 sacks. Tough to win ball games, TD, when your quarterback's on your back.
On his back 12 times. I mean, I think that was really the fact that Westbrook was not in there. You got McNabb back there dancing a little bit. Receivers can't get open. I mean, we have a lack of receivers who can break, who can beat man-to-man coverage. They can't do that. And so you're sitting back there like a sitting duck. McNabb, sometimes he's at fault because he holds onto the ball just a second too late. You'd have liked that game.
I probably would have loved that game, but you never want to say one player makes a difference, but it does. Whenever you have a guy who can catch the ball out the backfield and Brian Westbrook, and he can run the ball as well as he do, it makes a big difference, and it kind of shortens your offense a little bit when he's not around, and it showed. You can't get sacked 12 times and expect to win a game.
But check this out. Besides last week when they played Detroit, 1 touchdown on offense if you take that game out.
I mean, not only is Westbrook their best running back, he's also their best receiver for all intents and purposes. Another team that struggled, the New Orleans Saints, will be coming off a bye week, but the Saints have not been able to find the magic. And you mentioned it, Sean. Teams are you're no longer going to be creeping up on teams. Once you do well, they're looking for you. Do you think that's part of their problem?
I think so. When everybody's seen the Saints what they're capable of doing last year. They have so many exciting players, and Reggie being one of them, and now Deuce is out. That took a big hit in their offense. I mean, that's a guy who they have to give the ball to pound the ball and kind of bring the defense up a little bit. And now they go to the air. And right now they don't have that. And, Reggie will step up and play well later on this season.
Well, they have bad offense, passing offense, rushing offense, bad defense. Right now, this team is in total disarray. Like you mentioned earlier, when you have a successful season like they did last year, the expectations will kill you. Because you think about how good we were this season. Now we have to go out next year, and you think it's going to come automatically. This team is finding out that teams have put them really up there with the greater teams in this league, and they have to fight and claw for every game that they get. And right now, without Deuce, that used to be the staple of that team, to run the football and Brees throw it out. Now without Deuce, I don't know where they're going to go. I don't have a clue.
And, man, not to mention, Drew Brees just isn't playing good
he's
football
not playing
right now.
And it's all about him getting hit and, not getting rid of the ball and things that go through a quarterback's head when things are not going right, and that's what's going on right now.
The Chicago Bears, obviously, we've talked about this, off to a poor start. Is it just the quarterback play, TD?
No, my friend. Okay, I talked about Cedric Benson pretty much in the preseason. This guy, I mean, he was one of the first-round draft picks for the Chicago Bears. He has not panned out. I mean, he's a guy that you pay all this money to. You get rid of Thomas Jones because you believe in this guy, and he has not done anything. I mean, and you talk about that when you can have a rushing attack, it takes the pressure off your passing game. It allows
Your Week 6 NFL Game Day is on the air. The big battle of unbeatens, not much of a battle. Randy Moss and the Patriots crushed Dallas, winning their 6th this year by at least 17 points. They are 6-0. Dallas 5-1 on the opposite end of the spectrum. The Rams and the Dolphins both 0-6. We have 2 0-6 teams for the first time since the 2000 season. Adrian Peterson, AP State LT, is known by his LaDainian Tomlinson, his 5th career touchdown game, tied with our Marshall Faulk for 2nd most all-time, and even more importantly for San Diego, they hit the bye week at 3-3, back from the dead. Welcome to NFL Game Day. My name is Rich Eisen, along once again with my compadres Deion Sanders and Steve Mariucci. And Steve, you're not the only salt and pepper guy on this set.
Look at this.
Look at that. That's right. I'm trying to
Can you
change my
zoom in
game
on that?
up. I'm trying to change up my game. I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm 40 years old. It's time to shake it up.
Vinny Testaverde's older than you.
That's
He's
right.
still doing it.
That's right. The old gray beard. You'll see highlights of him later on in the show. But let's get to the one game that seemingly was only on the schedule to so many people, and it was Tony Romo and the 5-0 Cowboys. Terrell Owens says he's the original 81.
Get the popcorn ready.
And Tom Brady with the kiss.
Give me $60 million, I'll kiss you too.
Robert Kraft with the smooch right there. And the sixth play of the game after the Cowboys go 3-and-out. Dante Stallworth from Brady, 11-yard gain. 5 plays later, Brady to who? Wes Welker.
That's my guy, Randy Moss. You remember his name? Wes Welker moves the chains consistently.
And then a 4. You're moving around in the pocket, can't get out of the pocket. Brady gets right back in the pocket, fires to Ben Watson. Same drive, 3 plays later on 3rd and 7, Brady finds Wes Welker's a factor.
Double coverage going up the seam. He's passing up. He runs the routes. They were looking for him to sit it down. He kept it up straight and was able to get in for the touchdown.
Patriots up 14-1 after the first quarter. Dallas with only 1 first down in the first quarter. In the second quarter, disaster for the Patriots as the Cowboys get right back in it. Greg Ellis sacks Brady, who fumbles. Jason Hatcher, 29 yards to the house, and Hatcher breathing new life into the Cowboys' effort. 14-10 is your score. 8th play of the next drive for the Patriots. They just kept putting drive after drive together. Kevin Falk, 18 yards right here. And then 12th play of the drive, Brady finds who?
Wes Welker. I love this guy.
11 catches, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns for this guy from Texas Tech.
12th play of the drive, 72-yard drive, eating up almost 7 minutes of clock. But here comes Romo right back to the guy who was taken out of this game for the most part by New England. Jason Witten, only 3 catches on the day. That one was huge, as was this one from Terrell Owens. Touchdown, 21-17.
Big play against the blitz. The 2 defenders ran into each other on the crossing routes. Touchdown, T.O.
And how about Tony Romo wanting to celebrate with Mike Carey right there? Really interesting. And then in the second half, Julius Jones making plays out of the backfield for Dallas. 25-yard gain. Same drive, 5 plays later. Tony Romo, play fake to Patrick Creighton, touchdown. Cowboys up 24-21. The first time the Patriots have trailed in the second half all season. How would Brady respond? Well, by putting together another double-digit drive in terms of plays. 10th play of the drive to Randy Moss. It's called pass interference on Pat Watkins.
Yeah, Pat Watkins not known for reading the ball well. You got to give Randy Moss an opportunity to catch the ball, to get his position. Interference puts him on the 1-yard line.
Next play, a very Brady touchdown. Tom to Kyle, and the Patriots are back on top with a 10-play, 77-yard drive. Later in the third quarter, Marion Barber in his own goal line. Now he's in his own end zone.
Good safety.
Breaking tackles, running with his usual reckless abandon, but this is reckless.
That may be one of the best plays in the NFL this season because of tenacity. Starts out to the right, it's balled up. The best thing he had going from big linemen are trying to catch him. They can't run, they don't have the athleticism. But a cornerback comes up, Sante Samuel misses the tackle. This guy was determined to make it out of the end zone.
A great, interesting 2-yard drive, perhaps too interesting for Dallas. Patriots get the ball back. Brady up top to Randy Moss. It's called a touchdown. But the play is challenged. As you can see, it appears maybe his feet get down, but what he cannot complete is the catch once he hits the ground, so it's no catch. The Patriots get a field goal to go up a touchdown, 31-24. Later in the fourth quarter, 3rd and long, 3rd and 14, Romo to Owens for 13 yards. So it's 4th and 1 to start the fourth quarter. They decide to go for it to the Cowboys. Marion Barber busts through, but there's laundry on the field. You saw the umpire throws the flag. It's usually holding, and it was on Kyle Kosher.
That's a good call. He's got him wrapped around. Looks like a tackle.
He takes down Teddy Bruschi. Back. And so Dallas is forced to punt. And then Brady, play action to Dante Stallworth. He is gone, 69 yards. Brady with a career high 5 touchdowns on the day. And the Patriots, after falling behind 24-21, go ahead and score 17 unanswered points and eventually nearly put a 50-burger up on the Cowboys. The 48 points allowed by the Cowboys, the second most points ever allowed by the Cowboys at home. It's New England's highest point total in 23 years. They outpossessed Dallas 38 minutes to 21 minutes, and they're 2-0. They're 6-0 for the second time ever.
Wow.
Y'all the media, and y'all know who T.O. is, so, you know, I just wanted to come out there and do what I could to help my team, you know, win this game. You know, I didn't really want to feed off what he was saying or the hype over the game between, you know, 281. So, you know, I don't really buy into that, man. I got a job to do, and that's to go out there and try to catch touchdowns and get first down. So that's what I tried to do today.
They're a good team. I wouldn't say they're the best. I mean, hey, like you said, you know, they beat us today. Where I took my hat off to them, but you know we had some opportunities there and we let them slip away. So other than that, man, you know, we just got to go back and regroup.
It was nice to see him. If you see him down the road, I can tell you it's a lot easier probably seeing him once than this for the first time, you know, going down later. So you never know what's going to happen as the future rolls along, but if we see him again, we'll probably feel a little more comfortable.
The reality is it's a win on the road, and we're 6-0, which, hey, I'm just happy as hell about that. But anytime we're winning, I'm doing just fine. And the season really doesn't start till after Thanksgiving anyway, so we're trying to win as many of these games as we can, establish some depth, and continue to get better each week.
And now we have to start talking about this, the all-time single-season touchdown record that Peyton Manning broke from Dan Marino back in 2004. Tom Brady has 21 touchdowns through 6 games and only 2 interceptions. He's way beyond Manning and Marino's pace in their record-setting years. Steve, how is Brady doing?
Well, we talked about Tom Brady quite a bit, but it's a total team effort with his success. Look at their opening drive, which they always seem to score on their opening drive. We've got Randy Moss in the back of the end zone. Ben Watson is going to pull the safety out of there. Watch Roy Williams come out of the coverage and leave Randy Moss wide open. Again, protection is super. Back of the end zone throw, which is the safest place to throw on the field. Take a look at this protection. Kevin Falk and the offensive line gives him a pocket so he can see downfield, balance up his stance, step into the throw. How do you beat a double team? You split the double team. Wes Welker, one of his 2 touchdowns right here, catches the ball with a nice up and down throw from Tom Brady. Total team effort. And as one of the play action, he extends the ball out perfectly. 8-man protection. You're going to see the safety bite on play action. You're going to see a double team on Randy Moss, which he's going to get sometimes. Post pattern to Dante Stallworth. Beautiful. And this is an exceptional run after the catch. Little stiff arm right here, and he's going to run for the touchdown. 5 touchdown passes. It's not all Tom Brady. He's got good weapons to throw to and great protection.
It's not all Tom Brady. Come on, Coach. Who you fooling, baby? This is the captain, and the rest of these guys are Tennille. Tom Brady, those of you are 40 and over.
I got it.
Captain and Tennille. Tom Brady is exceptional. I don't understand how he did this, and they just averaged 2.6 yards a carry. And it has to be incredible. Tom Brady, 40. Usually when you see a quarterback with 46 attempts, normally it's in a losing effort.
Normally, but they're losing backs now. They're not healthy. Sammy Morris came out, right? Maroney wasn't there, so what? They pretty much abandoned the run for a little bit. That's why I was surprised that they bit so much on the play-action passes, but very methodically goes down the field with long drives and scores.
And I think Dallas was so enamored with stopping Randy Moss, they forgot all about Wes Welker and Dante Stallworth.
And the New England Patriots joined the 2000 Rams as the only teams to score at least 34 points in their first 6 games of an NFL season. So much more on this game still to come on NFL. Adrian Peterson. His highlights still to come on NFL Game Day. That's still to come. Reggie Bush looking like the 06 version of Reggie, just like the entire New Orleans Saints in a huge performance on Sunday Night Football in Seattle. That's still ahead. Vinny Testaverde, better with age, you bet. Off the couch and into the winner's circle for the Carolina Panthers in just 1 week. That's highlights ahead. And Devin Hester's one of your primetime players. Is that right?
He's so nice, he might make it twice.
You're watching NFL Game Day, Week 6 style.
Jackson DeVille there to make the catch, but that won't help the Jaguars. And Adrian Peterson is gone!
2 of the bright young talents in the NFL squaring off on Soldier Field on Sunday.
Catches 69 yards and a touchdown for Troy Williams.
We're tied at 7. Second quarter, Bears started with the ball.